Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, and we have a loaded slate of games. We're going to be looking at several different plays today. We have three graphic plays, our three best bets of the day as well. The best play of the day is going to be looking at a pair of rookies that are trying to make a name for themselves. I don't know if they're going to be able to have success in this one going up against the opposing teams, but we shall see. We also have a couple player props that I think are going to be no sweat bets today. I'm looking forward to this Wednesday night slate of games. If you guys would be so kind before you watch this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel below. Every like matters, every sub matters to grow this channel. You simply matter. Simple as that. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. Now let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get into this graphic from Tuesday night slate of games. Recording about 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time, so a little bit early. None of the games have finished up today. We do have the Pirates and the Cardinals under 4 runs. Paul Skeens, Miles McCollum on the mound in that game on Tuesday night. Brandon Nimmo over 1.5 bases, and Zach Wheeler under 2.5 earned runs as the best plays of the day. Then we have Mitchell Parker on the mound for the Nationals on the money line going up against the Tigers. Going to hop off, watch that game. Hopefully the Nationals can pull one out. Then we have O'Neal Cruz over 1.5 bases and Matt Vierling over 1.5 bases as well. So again, none of those games have started yet. This is what the leaderboard looks like. It is updated from Monday night. We had kind of a brutal night on Monday. I think we only had one win of the 6 plays. So we need to do much better today. And we are going to start by looking at the Guardians going up against the Cincinnati Reds. This is not going to be the best play of the day, but this is a play I think it's worth playing. I'm going to take the under in this game as the play between the two teams. We're going to have Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guardians, Nick Lodolo on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. And we're going to start with the better pitching team. And I think that's the Cleveland Guardians. They've been one of the best pitching teams all season long. The starting pitching hasn't been as good as the bullpen, but some of the starters this season have been decent enough. And that would be Tanner Bybee. He would fall underneath that category. He's coming into this game with a 3.73 ERA, and he has been much better over the last 5 games for the Guardians. He still has a couple blow-up games where he gives up 3 runs or more, but more times than not, he's been pretty steady for this team. Over the last 5 games, he's given up a total of only 6 runs, and he's been able to work his ERA down 1.20 points. He's coming off a game against the Kansas City Royals where he gave up just 2 runs, going 5 innings of work, and he's been able to give us 5 innings of work pretty consistently, going 5+ innings in 9 of the last 10 games. That is going to be pretty important in this game because once you get to that Guardians bullpen, you might as well just not go up to bat because this has been one of the best bullpens in baseball. The Cincinnati Reds are going to try to counter with Nick Lodolo, and I think we should get 5 innings as well from Nick Lodolo. I think both of these guys are going to give us 5+ innings of work before we see any action in the bullpen. Nick has also had a pretty good season this year for the Cincinnati Reds, coming out with a 2.92 ERA, and just like Tanner, he's been going 5+ innings nearly every single outing. Over the last 3 games, he's been extremely good, going 5+ innings in all of those games, giving up a total of 4 runs. He does have a little bit of a home run problem right now over the last 5 games. He's given up a home run in every single one of those games, but he's also only given up 5 home runs on the season. So I'm not sure if he's just tipping some pitches or what he's actually doing, but he definitely needs to figure that out before he comes into this game against the Guardians. I do think this is two reliable guys on the mound, so I'm going to take the under of 8.5 runs in this game between the two teams as the first play. For the player props on the screen, we're not going to be playing either of them, but I do think these guys have a little bit of value if you're looking to play some player props in this game. I'm going to take the under total, so I'm not really looking for anybody to get extra base hits, but I will say Spencer Steer, he's got some home run power. He's been pretty good this season at the plate for the Reds over the last several games. And then we have Steven Kwan, maybe the best contact hitter in baseball, going up against Nick Lodolo, who I will say has been giving up a few too many hits over the last couple games. So if I were to take a player prop, I would start with those 2 guys, but I'm going to take a hard pass on this game for the player props, and we're going to get into game number 2 here. This is going to be the best play of the day. Maybe I might even make this the best play of the year or a mortal lock or whatever you want to call it. I want 20 runs to be scored in this game. So I'm going to take the over, as we've seen nothing but carnage over the first several starts for these rookies. It's going to be Spencer Schwellenbach going for the Atlanta Braves, and Cade Pavitt going for the Baltimore Orioles. Both of these guys' names kind of strange, but I'm okay trying to pronounce them because I think this is the best play of the day by far. We're going to start with Spencer because he's been in 2 games this season for the Braves, making back-to-back starts against the Nationals and the Red Sox. In those 2 games, he's been able to go 9+ innings, giving up 12 hits and 9 runs, giving up a home run in both of those games. He's coming into this game with an 8.38 ERA, and the Baltimore Orioles this season, they're a top 10 hitting team, having a 249 batting average this year. The Baltimore Orioles are also the highest scoring team this season in baseball, scoring 5.17 runs per game, and they've actually been a lot better over the last 3 games, scoring 6.33 runs per game. There should be a lot of problems in this game for Spencer, and that's just half of it because we have another rookie on the mound, Cade Pavitt, who's going up against another team who's top 10 in scoring runs per game this season. The Braves scoring 4.43 runs per game, and the Braves are barely outside the top 10 in team batting average, hitting 244 on the year, but he should have a lot of problems with this team as well. Cade, in his only game this season against the Blue Jays, he gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, a home run, going just 5 innings. And the biggest problem for him in that game was he gave up way too many walks. He gave up 4 walks in the game. He is coming in with a 10.13 ERA, and you would think that these rookies would have maybe a pitch count or they would get pulled early, but he went 100 pitches against the Blue Jays. And this Toronto Blue Jays team is maybe one of the worst teams in baseball. I took them yesterday. We got killed on them. They can't score. They can't hit, and they got 6 runs on Cade. So I'm loving the over in this game. I'm going to take it as the best play of the day. The player props on the screen, you guessed it, we're taking both of them. I want all the runs in the world scored in this game, so I'm taking both Marcell Ozuna and Gunnar Henderson to go over 1.5 bases. We're going to start with Henderson because this might be a 4-hit game for him. He's already coming into this game hot at the plate. He's collected 6 hits over the last 3 games, bringing his batting average up to 274. He is one of the best young baseball players in the league right now, and he's coming into this game as a left-handed hitter, getting a matchup going up against a right-handed pitcher. So I always love that kind of matchup on the mound against lefties this season already. And keep in mind, it's just been 2 games for Spencer. He's already given up 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run, and that's just in 2 games against left-handed hitting. I think Gunnar Henderson is going to have himself a multi-extra base hit game in this one, so I love the over 1.5 bases for him. And then for Marcell Ozuna, this one's actually better, I think, going over 1.5 bases going against Cade Povich. I do think Cade's going to be a little bit better than Spencer because he really didn't give up a ton of hits. He only gave up 5 hits. Most of his damage came off of walks. But he is coming into this game with a +10 ERA, and the lefty gave up 4 of his 5 hits going up against right-handed hitting. I love the play here for Marcell Ozuna in this one because against the lefties this season, he's hitting .344, and he's coming into this game batting .312. That's the 5th best batting average in baseball. And while he's hitting .312 this season, he's 30 points better against left-handed pitching. So I love it there. This is a guy who has a ton of power, and it's been nothing but hits at the plate for him over the last couple games. Against the Nationals, he dominated them, having multi-hit games in 3 of the 4 games in that series. I personally watched him do it in 3 of them. He basically beat the Nationals by himself a couple times. But over the last 10 games alone, he's recorded 13 total hits. I don't think it's going to slow down in this one going up against the rookie. So I'm going to take Marcell Ozuna and Gunnar Henderson here over 1.5 bases for 2 plays there for the graphic. Let's go over to the best props of the day. We are going to start with the batting prop as always. I'm going to take Seiya Suzuki over 1.5 bases going up against the Tampa Bay Rays. This is going to be a good match for Suzuki. He was already coming into this game hitting very well over the last 5 days. He has been able to collect 6 hits over the last 5 games, bringing his batting average up to 272. And he's also had 4 multi-hit games over the last 10. The matchup for him is going to be against Aaron Savali. He has struggled this season for the Tampa Bay Rays, coming in with a 5.51 ERA. He has been giving up way too many hits this season, 72 already in the year in just 67 innings. And he has given up 5+ hits in 9 of the last 10 games. So he's giving up way too many hits right now in these games. Both of these guys are righties, but that's going to give us an advantage in this game because Suzuki, he's hitting 291 against right-handed pitching compared to just 229 against lefties. It doesn't really matter the opponent for Aaron Savali. He's been bad on both sides of the plate this season. He's giving up at least a batting average of 260 to both sides, but it's very clear that Suzuki, he likes to hit against right-handed pitching better than lefties, so I love the play here. He's in store for another great game. I'm taking his over 1.5 bases as the play there. For the pitching prop, a guy I've watched, 12 of his 13 games so far is going to be Jake Irvin, under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Tigers. I say this every single time I talk about Jake Irvin because I truly believe it. This is the best arm we have in the rotation. He's the best arm we have on the team. Whenever I see him on the mound, I think to myself, we actually have a chance to win this game. He hasn't been getting a lot of help from his teammates this season. He's given up just 26 runs in 13 games. He's got a losing record to show for it. He's coming in with a 3.12 ERA and a 1.03 whip. And the reason I love him so much is because he doesn't give up a lot of home runs, only 6 total in the season. We don't really have to worry about home runs typically with the Detroit Tigers, and we don't usually have to worry about runs typically with the Detroit Tigers either. This team is very close to having a winning record this season. I think there's just 1 game below 500, but the Tigers, they've really struggled to score some runs over the last 10 games. They did have a 10-run game against the Brewers on Sunday. I'm going to call that a fluke. Over the last several games for the Detroit Tigers, they haven't been able to get anything going. They haven't been able to score more than 3 runs, I feel like, in a lot of these games. And over the last 7 games, not counting that Brewers game where they scored 10, they have only been able to score over 3 runs in 1 of those 7 games. Jake Irvin, he's coming off his best performance of the season against the Braves. He went 6 innings in that game. He gave up just 4 hits, no runs allowed. I think he's going to have back-to-back performances, having quality starts. Hopefully the Nationals can get him a win in this game. I'm going to take his under 2.5 runs allowed as the play there. All right, let's go over to the graphic. The little recap here. We've got 3 graphic plays, 3 best plays of the game. We've got Guardians and the Reds, under 8.5 total runs in that game. Tanner Bybee battling with Nick Lodolo. I love the play there. Then we have the double over 1.5 bases in the same game with the rookies on the mound. Marcell Ozuna and Gunnar Henderson, both of those guys have great numbers against the opposing pitchers. So hopefully we get more of the same from those rookies in this game as well. And then we're going to go to the best bets here. We've got the Braves and the Baltimore Orioles over 9.5 runs. You could put this at 13.5 runs. I think both teams can hit the ball well. I don't think either rookie is going to do well in this game. So I like the over 9.5 runs. Then we have the best props of the day. Seiya Suzuki over 1.5 bases going up against the Rays. Aaron Civale, he's been giving up way too many hits right now. And Seiya Suzuki hits 290 against right-handed pitching. So I love the matchup there. And then Jake Irvin under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Tigers. Coming off a game against the Braves, he looked fantastic. He's been really good in a lot of his games so far over the last 10 games. So I'm hoping that continues because we need a bright spot in the rotation for the Washington Nationals. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Wednesday, June 12th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.